You have prepared a report keeping political and criminal responsibility separate. What is the objective of your report?
Well, we see that politicians sometimes take very difficult measures, and you want to know for what kind of things they do, they should be held liable at the ballot box. So if they take a bad policy decision and unemployment goes up, the voters in the next election will say, okay, wrong thing. And for what decision you can actually use the criminal prosecution to say they have done something wrong criminally. Because what we see that in a number of countries these days, criminal prosecutions seem to be abused for political purposes. Recently, the Ukraine was condemned in the European Court of Human Rights for having used criminal prosecution for political means. It's Article 18 of the Convention, and that's why they say that the pre-trial detention, so they actually put in prison former Prime Minister Ms. Tymoshenko and former Interior Minister Mr. Lushenko, was invalid, and they shouldn't have been in prison at that time.
What kind of measures do you propose to be taken in order to prevent cases that you have just mentioned?
Well, some countries should have clearer laws in which they actually precisely stipulate when something is criminal liable and when something is not. That was, for instance, the case in Iceland, which had a sort of big catch-all phrase endangering something, and they put the Prime Minister on trial for actually having caused a crisis. Now, he was largely not found guilty, but after a big trial. So the law should be fairly specific. And those countries that have been condemned in the court here, that's Ukraine, but also Russia, should speedily change their law system. And furthermore, I'm very worried about the present situation in Georgia, where there are indications that the present government is actually abusing its power to actually round up lots of politicians from the opposition.